pull up my and let me make sure everyone is muted. I think Gabe left and I'm muted here. Okay, great. See screen share. So you see me now, but I'm gonna go ahead on. Um, as you all know, I had the flu. I don't normally get the flu like that. In fact, I don't even remember ever having the flu. I
Oh,
had COVID before I had the flu.
Ronnie, how long did you have the flu?
Well, it was I started getting an itchy throat and stuff Saturday, and then Monday it started crashing down on me. By
Mm,
that evening, I couldn't even open my eyes.
wow.
So I went to the doctor that Tuesday, and they said it was the type A flu.
Mm,
My husband didn't have it, even though he was having some respiratory stuff too, but he had nothing. It wasn't COVID, it wasn't strep, it wasn't the type B flu. And so it was this type A flu that's out. You talking about pain, chills, aches. I didn't even experience that when I had COVID.
wow.
I thought I had COVID, it was that bad.
Mhm.
And
Melanie, have you had COVID or anything?
I did. I had COVID in September.
Oh,
Yeah, I had COVID in September and I still have issues with that.
oh,
So I
right.
know. Yeah.
yeah, it took me a year to
Yeah.
feel like myself after I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're feeling better now though, Veronica?
Yes, yes. The flu actually turned into a pneumonia.
Oh no.
Because I had pneumonia back in November, and I did the follow-up in January. My lungs was clear, but I was just building myself back up. I was going to the gym and everything um in February, and then this hits with this flu thing. And so I guess my body wasn't ready to not it not affecting my lungs again. So that's why, you might hear some coughing or raspiness. I have some tea, herbal tea here. So but I've been using my thyme oil to get that out of here.
That's good that you're better. You sound good.
Oh, good, good. Because yeah, it was rough. It was really rough. Yeah. Okay. So I'll go back to my first slide here. Well, welcome everyone. And some of you new ones, I'm gonna put that in this chat because I'm gonna tell them y'all better get on here tonight. They've been bugging me all week, blowing up my phone. So I'm like, y'all gonna get in on here tonight. Because one just said she had some family just come in. So I would say you have to sneak away for about 20 minutes. Okay, so they'll probably come in a little later. But anyway, I didn't have time to do this PowerPoint right, so it's going to go through my Google Slides. Uh, this is what I'm really here to talk about. Um, those of you who don't know me, I'm Veronica Easterling Thomas, also known as Ronnie, and I am coming up with a few classes called Ronnie's Lessons. And I kind of came up with this because I am currently writing a book on aromatherapy heritage. And throughout the process, I'm going to be sharing lessons that I've learned along the way of the journey of writing this book. And so many people come to me, well, I get messaging all the time. They ask all of these questions. What is multicultural aromatherapy? What, what exactly do you do? I I kind of always operated under the radar. Some people want, even when I did the AIA conference, and I said I was an aromatherapist for 17 years, and they're like, "What? Where you been? We didn't know who you were." And so I decided to give you a little bit of a background check of who I am and how I got started. So here in 2005, I founded an organization, which was the first African American Direct Selling Alliance, and it was called MDSA, or the Multicultural Direct Selling Alliance. I had been a home interior rep, a Jafra consultant, and an Avon rep for like 15 years or so before I started this. Just, I started selling home interior the year I got married because I wanted to decorate my house at a discount. Plus, I didn't know how to decorate, so I figured I would learn how to decorate, earn the money to buy what I want, and have nice pictures in my living room. That's how it started. But then along the way, I started making some money at it. And so I kind of came up with this thing. I saw other people making mistakes. I saw that there weren't, some of them weren't as diverse with inclusive products for people of color. So I founded this organization and I started a coaching practice. I participated in a local business opportunity, which was a micro enterprise program, and I earned a grant to start my coaching practice. So in 2005, I went through the International Federation of Coaches, founded this coaching practice, and worked from there. During the process, I came across a company that wanted to open up the American market that was based in London. And so that was my first international client. And that client had a product, a natural product line, but it also had essential oils in the line. I didn't know anything about essential oils to that degree. I had a friend that was an herbalist, and we kind of like played around with one or two of the oils, but I didn't really know the magnitude of it until I worked uh, for that particular company. When she found out that I didn't know much about the oils, she set me up with an aromatherapist on staff. And from there, I was able to be apprenticed via correspondence and phone calls by an aromatherapist in London. And that's how I became an aromatherapist in 2007. Once I found out the magnitude of essential oils, I was hooked. It was like, I'm this is it. I don't want to do anything else. And my friends that were a part of my business network, they thought I was crazy, that I was transitioning from business and I guess life coaching to complete wellness. And now they see the reason why I felt that way and have been, totally supportive over the years. It was like, okay, you went in the right direction. Now the wellness industry is everywhere. So after I was certified, because I have been a teacher as a missionary for more than 20 years, it was easy for me to transition into teaching because I was already teaching. And I was used to teaching adult education and structuring lectures and so forth. And I did that when I did my coaching as well. So in 2008, I founded Multicultural Aromatherapy. And we're going to get more into that in the next slide. But in between that time, I also I've utilized that experience that I had prior to me even going into business as a coach at all. And that was being a fibromyalgia patient. And as a fibromyalgia patient, because of the doctor that I had that did research on fibromyalgia, I was able to learn so much and become a patient advocate for individuals to where I was blogging for a number of years with Bella Online for Women. I also ran the Willis Knighton Hospital Fibromyalgia Support Group for 10 years. And I participated in Dr. Wood's documentary, uh, Show Me Where It Hurts. And recently, I've become a champion for natural hair care because of the dangers of chemicals in hair products. And I educate on anti-hair shaming, which the anti-hair shaming leads to women being forced to use chemicals in their hair that will cause uterine and ovarian cancers and fibroid tumors and infertility issues because of being discriminated against for having natural hair in the workplace. And that's why some states have adopted the Crown Act, which makes it illegal to do that, but most states have not. And it's still an issue. It has happened to me in the past, and it happens to many African American women today, being discriminated against just because God decided to grow our hair out a little curlier than everybody else's. So now, moving on to multicultural aromatherapy. So, like I said, in 2007, I started my training. But if you go to my website under the FAQ section, you will see that I have a lineage of teachers, which is something that I've learned over the years that is very important. And one person that told us this was one of my other teachers, which is Scylla Shepherd Hanger. And she says she just can't choose one teacher. Someone asked her once, who was your teacher? Who was the very one? She said, well, pick one. And she has like a whole list of teachers. And so I feel like that I have a balanced, well-rounded viewpoint of aromatherapy because I didn't just stick with one person. I wanted to learn from as many people as I could. And so on my website, you will see a lot of the different people that I've learned from over the years. So in 2008, I did not know that I made aromatherapy history when I founded Multicultural Aromatherapy until I did the interview for with Jade Shoots for the book that I'm writing. And the question that I had for her was, did you start your classes online, or did Andrea Bouget start hers first, or who was first out of the two? Because I couldn't pinpoint the dates. So she told me when she started, which was the fall of 2008. And so I have yet to, I do have a connection to Andrea Bouget that I'm gonna try to uh, get some kind of meeting with her. I would love to interview her for the book too. So I don't know her exact dates. So I have to find out when she started hers online. But with me, I always launch things during Black History Month to honor my heritage. And so in February of 2008, that's when I brought my program to a virtual platform. But because I knew that I didn't have video equipment and I didn't know how to do YouTube videos, I didn't know how to do any of that. I just did freeconferencecall.com. Then I learned how to do GoToMeeting when I was teaching other classes before. So I said, I can teach this live. And even though I don't have this video platform. So that's what I did. I started offering live classes virtually. The reason why I did that is because in 2007, after I finished the correspondence and I guess hybrid method of training, I wanted to learn from someone in the United States. And I could not find anybody unless I flew somewhere and went to a live course somewhere, or ordered this big manual, which was still correspondence. And I wanted that live experience. And because I didn't really get that 100%, I wanted to offer that to other people like me who had a small child and could not travel. And that's when I decided to go with live classes um, on a virtual platform. The other two had pre-recorded videos and they put their videos on a platform and you were able to read and then take tests and everything, but they were not live. So I'm wondering, was I the first aromatherapist to also offer live classes on a virtual platform? So if there's anybody else out there that could challenge that, then let me know and I won't put that in the book, but that's going in the book. So the first African American owned aromatherapy school and also the first to offer live classes on a virtual platform. So moving forward to 2023, I established the Aromatherapy Lineage Project, which is leading up to this book on aromatherapy heritage. In 2021, I sort of um, wanted to know more about who my teachers were, especially the teacher that I had in London. I wanted to see how close to Margaret Murray I could get, And so I was, I kind of found my answer, which I'll reveal in the book. But that's how it all started. And then some of my other aromatherapy friends, they're like, well, we want to know how ours got started too, and so forth. And that's how everything started. So that's as far as I was going to take it until I started talking to people. And then, of course, you see here we have Gabriel Moget on the call, and he was one of the ones that inspired and encouraged me to do interviews and talk to other people and ask the right questions. And then I started learning all of these wonderful things, hearing all of these wonderful stories, and it just opened my eyes up to so much information that people do not know, especially new people that's coming into aromatherapy. And so I'm still working on that project, and I'm hoping that maybe by the end of the year, maybe the fall or of September, October, that the book will be done. We'll see. We're working on it. But anyway, in 2024, I also coined the term Afro aromatherapy. And the reason why I chose to go down that road is because we have so many African herbalists, and they tend to be afraid of using essential oils. And I'm like, okay, we have a lot of African American teachers uh, that are teaching herbalism, but none of them are utilizing essential oils as part of their plant medicine routine. So I'm coming up with a course that's going to showcase African and Native American herbalism principles, linking it to aromatherapy. I'm figuring it all out. But yes, that's something that's in the works. I say 2025, but I'm just going to start doing the research this year on it. But we're talking maybe 2026. And of course, the long-awaited fibromyalgia book is going to be in the works after I finish this heritage book. Then we're going to start on that. Because I know some people have been waiting for that too. So, again, what is multicultural aromatherapy? That's what one person asked me. When I first came out, I had to decide if, I wanted to be an African American organization or if I wanted to just be like a stock photo and nobody really know who I am organization, or what do I want to do? And so I thought about who I was as a person, and I say, this is me. So I have this little photo. I hate this little stop sharing thing because it's going to mess up my, um, here we go. So I'm going to, oops, I should have went backwards. Okay. Now this is me. This is my little video montage without the music. Sing in your head. Well, these are some little kids that that were in my congregation. I'm going to have to move this out of the way so I can share it. So I'm used to worshiping with people of all nationalities. That's one of my son's friends. They carried on the meeting that day. I hate that little blurry picture, but my son said it looked kind of the Matrix like. So he thought it was cool. And I collaborate with anyone who wants to collaborate with me. And there's a couple of my friends here. They're actually from other countries. And then, of course, we have Hannah. She's my like a sister from another Mister or whatever they call it. Because it's like once we met, we clicked. That was it. And I met so many different people at the conference. She's from Africa. There's Hannah again. There's her husband, Robert. There is Sean. There's Jennifer. There's Michael. Deb from Australia. Lori from France. Elle. I met her. She actually came to the conference only because I was the speaker. Cool. How cool is that? And there's one of my friends. Our kids used to play together. And there's my son and some of his buddies. So I am multicultural. And so that's why I say I couldn't do anything else but name my business Multicultural Aromatherapy. I'm gonna forget that one. That PDF didn't turn out right. So this is me. So now in that event, I talked about aromatherapy education. So some of the questions that people have is about the programs. What exactly are the standards? What is required to be an aromatherapist? Um, why does one program cost more than the other? Well, let's see. We do have standards. There's two organizations. Um, people have some people prefer one over the other. I kind of remain neutral when it comes to that. The only reason why I go by the standards is because anybody that goes through my program, I want to make sure that no one questions your credentials. Um, these are the standards. I kind of feel some type of way about the level one. When I first came out, I tried that level one thing. And some people didn't come back for the level two, and they still was running around calling themselves aromatherapists. And then I said, you know what? I don't think I want to do that again because they're not really, because that's not enough training. But I think people NAHA is trying to be a little bit more accommodating. I don't know what this is about, the 50 hours. That really, I guess they had to register that under their title because, that's 50 hours is not even close to enough to put the title of aromatherapist at the end of your name. That's just my personal opinion. But for those of you, I think Margie and Selena have already started going through the classes in my Aromatherapy Truth Facebook group. Because what I did was took the first module out of the certification program that I have and made it free for everybody because it's basic. And then once people are interested in signing up, then they get to go through that on their own and be ready day one of the the first class, And then the little semantics are out of the way. But I challenge you who've already started going through it to go through that list, and you'll find that 60% of what's listed in this level one, you're already covered in just two classes that I posted in that Aromatherapy Truth group. But what this certification course is going to require is a 200-hour minimum training. And so not only do I have to cover this, but I also have to cover this level two. We're not even going to talk clinical because you newbies are not ready for that. Just, just stick with the basics first, because I know someone was having panic attack when they saw the word chemistry. I said, you'll be all right. It'll be all right. So these are the AIA school curriculum standards. So those of you who don't know about these websites, the NAHA website is naha.org. And then the Alliance of International Aromatherapists website is alliance-aromatherapist.org. Of course, you can just copy this or screenshot this or pause this when you watch the recording of this video. And then you can see the different standards. See, AIA, NAHA said 50 hours, AIA says 100. Then you got 200 minimum for the professional aromatherapy certification. Going into clinical, a whole nother ball game, which I'm kind of glad is like that because not everybody really should be calling themselves a clinical aromatherapist either. So some people have a lot of, opinions about, whether or not you should take a course that's listed with them or not. It kind of matters, but it kind of doesn't matter. If the teacher that you spoke with are adhering to these guidelines, then you don't necessarily have to take a course through them. They used to say that all the time. You can't, you're not a real, it's not a real course unless it's from these organizations, but all of these organizations, people pay to have their courses listed here. And so when they pay to list their course, of course, where does that cost go? That cost goes back into the price of the course. So that's why sometimes those courses are a little bit more expensive. I wish this little screen sharing thing would stop so I can get to my, well, let me just go back to my PowerPoint. So I'm going to leave that to you to look at the different standards, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. So, like I said, the different types of um, reasons or the different reasons why these courses could cost, I decided to do like a little AI demo. I've been kind of playing around with it a little bit. It's been fun asking dumb questions and then see what AI says the answer is. But one of the questions that I put in is what is the average cost of an aromatherapy certification? And so AI says that the average cost can range from 500 to 1,000, depending on the program, the course length, the provider, and so forth and so on. So I already told you one of the reasons that could raise the cost is listing it with those organizations because it costs to list with those organizations. So let's look at a couple of other reasons why some of those programs cost a little bit more. Videos. So like I said, some of them hire videographers actually to do their videos that they post on those online platforms. Um, the online platform itself. It'll have your online material there, it'll have videos, and it'll have a testing platform. And when you take the test online, it'll go directly to them. So that is very costly. Then you have a corporate vibe. Some aromatherapists cater to the medical field. So their standards are a little bit higher. The requirements are higher. It has to have this little corporate vibe to it. So it's more than likely going to cost you more. In the past, I've seen the manual that is used for the course cost as little as 500, but as much as $1,000 just for the manual itself. And so some people incorporate that cost into the course. The supplies, some people order supply kits, 300, 500. That's incorporated into the course. So you see how the price tag is going up. Well, when I first came out, sorry about this janky PowerPoint, but I decided to use a coaching approach because that's what I was when I came into the wellness industry in the first place. Was I got a certification through the International Federation of Coaches 20 something years ago when they first came out. And also when I took a business course at Southern University, they taught us to do a business plan. They taught us market research, identifying your target market, utilizing resources. That's what coaches are really, really good at, is utilizing resources that are already there. And so I pretty much have grassrooted my business for the last 20 years. So instead of driving the cost up and passing the cost to the consumer, I drove the cost down and allowed the consumer to drive their own cost up if they choose to do so. So let me go to my website here. Can get this screen sharing thing out of the way. Let me see if I can move this box. Thank you. That's so annoying. Okay. So this is my website at multiculturalaromatherapy.com. I don't know why I decided to do this video because people were having trouble navigating the website. I think the website is pretty easy. So let me share with you. I did give the wrong because I was sick, so I did give the wrong web address to a few people, and I was like, oh, it would help if I gave you the right one. So if you go to the website, this is going to become something. I don't know. I would like for it to be a hub station for a lot of things that's aromatherapy. I will be posting 2025 events that I'm going to be doing and that other people are going to be doing that I think that you will enjoy. And so that's why I was encouraging people to log into the website, because I'm going to be posting it on a blog when these events come up, and those blog posts will go directly to you if you have registered at the site. So because I didn't realize until a friend of mine's uh, messaged me and said that she wanted to feature me on her website as a person that had been in business for 20 years, because we kind of like came in together at the same time. And I was like, oh yeah, it has been 20 years since I've been in the coaching business. I said, I gotta offer a special of some sort. So I had a couple of people that had been interested in doing this certification uh, workshop or course. And so I decided to put an anniversary special. Now I tried to have this to where I can show, um, I know it was a friend of mine's that, nope, that's not it. I didn't want to do that. I was trying to log out so that I can show you how to log in. So this is a demo. I'm sorry, you seasoned aromatherapist that's on here. This actually was advertisement for this upcoming workshop, and a little bit of training for the newbies is coming in. But if you go to the main website, if you're new, you just click on this anniversary special. It's going to take you to a password protected page. If you have not registered at the website, then you would click this and it's going to register you. If I click it, it's going to log me in. But see, you can sign up with the email, you can sign up with Google or Facebook. And so that's going to get you access to the password content in the website, which really is just going to be the special, the 20th anniversary special that I'm running. So that's how it'll sign you up. So I'm going to log in with email. Mine's already saved. So once you log in, it's going to give you a similar page to the educational page on the website. And so here is the course. So this spring session, the course is going to start in March 23rd. I said 8 weeks, is probably going to be 9 or maybe even 10, because I've added some things to this course. Like I said, you're going to learn everything that's on level 1 and 2 of the NAHA curriculum, or I'm going to say AIA because I kind of prefer them anyway. The AIA curriculum, plus other information that you need that I wish that I had when I first learned, that I learned probably 5 or 6 years into being an aromatherapist. So there's plenty of information that you're going to be studying. You will get ebooks, reports, um, all kinds of stuff that I have gathered over the last 15 to 17 years that will come with it. And here's the fun part. You get to build your own manual. You're going to get an outline and a suggested outline. And you can buy your a notebook. You can print this out. Young people like to keep them in a online, which I got to have me a book. They don't mind digging through all the e-stuff, but you can create your own manual. But it's when we finish the course, your manual will be complete. So you'll have an outline that's gonna, and we'll work on that each week on organizing it to where it'll be a good reference tool for you to use in the future. I still have my very first manual that was given to me. But the course that I took, it was like a weekend course and it was $400 and I was given a manual. So this is really um special to be able to create your own and it'll have that equal value. Of course, you already have access to the Aromatherapy Truth group, which have the bonus classes and the Aroma Powwow Facebook sessions. And I'm looking at the comments and the emails and the messages that you've been sending me saying that you can't believe that you learned all of this in just an hour. So yeah, it is valuable information. And yes, some of that information are part of the testing. Because one person, when I said GCMS report to her in answering one of her questions, and she said, "Well, what is that?" I said, "Oh, so you haven't been watching the videos." So I said, "Yeah, it's in one of those videos." I said, "And it is a test question." And so uh, she messaged me back and said, "Oh, okay, I know what it is now." So yes, those are important, especially if you're brand spanking new and you don't haven't had any aromatherapy experience whatsoever. So my regular price is $550. The discount is $275. Now, one person asked me about um the limited time because the deadline was supposed to be today. Well, because I was sick for a week, I told her it's going to be extended until March the 8th. So we're going to extend that for a week because I think she had a friend that wanted to sign up. So yes, and another special incentive to fill those first 20 slots. I was not, normally I would send out these little packages of samples to where we would do the smell testing. And I share with you different aspects of aromatherapy. And this time I was like, I'm not going to do that because I don't have time. Um, but because uh, I have so many people that are like totally new and they've been asking me some questions that I'm like, they're gonna really get a kick out of this if we do this. So for the first 10 people that sign up, we'll get one of those packages. I will put in the work and make up those little sample packages and get them out to you. And we will be doing this type of training all throughout the course because you can't smell everything at once, right? You got, it'll overwhelm your nose. So you won't be able to tell one thing from the other. So think about that. First 10 spots, you get the package. First 20 can take advantage of this 50% discount up until March the 8th. If you go to the first PayPal button, that's the 275. If you go to the second one, this is where everybody was getting confused. This is the payment plan. I've used PayPal for years. I do not do this on a regular basis. Normally, when I have my consulting clients, we do a contract and I invoice them. So that's why I don't have like a shopping cart and all of that. So most of my work has been done by invoice. So I know you modern girls and modern people, uh, they're used to just clicking a button and everything, but this is the type of work that I did required invoices. So this is what will happen. If you were to do a minimum deposit of $50, the other payments, you can choose a 2, 3, or 4 payment plan. And then we will negotiate the terms outside of in a private chat or what have you. And if you wanted to make a bigger deposit, All you have to do is just add however much more you want to make. Okay. So that's giving everyone an opportunity to be able to join this course. Now, something fun that we did in 2023 was we had a mixture of talent in the class. So we had some new people, and then I mentored two people that wanted to be more effective teachers. They came to me and said, I want to learn how to teach. I want to learn how to put my presentation together. And I'm like, I said, I planned on doing a teacher's course one day, but not right now. And to help them out, I said, let's do a little trial run. I said, I'm teaching this workshop. I'm teaching this certification course. Why don't you come in? You can shadow me, and then we can meet like once a month throughout the duration and um, do our separate training to see what you learn, what we can do, how we can help, work on whatever it is you need to work on. That actually turned out great because both of them spoke at major conferences last year. One of them is teaching on a regular basis, several groups, and she's also booked a major conference this year. And I said, wow, I think I might add that again. So all you have to do to be a part of this is be a certified aromatherapist, and I will give you the same discount that I gave everyone else at the 275 if you want to do the teacher mentorship. So the way that works is you will shadow me throughout this course. One person said she had took her course like in the early 2000s, and she started hearing about different stuff that was different. So she kind of used it as a refresher to kind of update. So I'm not necessarily, because you're an aromatherapist, I'm not requiring test work back and case studies and all that kind of stuff. This person decided to do that because she just was doing it for her own personal development. If you do, that's fine. I will give you more CE credit for that. But um, as of now, I will give 50 CE credits for anyone that is already an aromatherapist that decided to go through the teacher mentor program, or if you are an alum and you want to do the alum buy-in, you can message me privately and I will give you the alum price. And you will also get 50 CEs for that. And I'm seeing a chat. I think I'm done with the website here, so I'm gonna go back over here. I can't see anything because I don't have that part open. Let me see this chat. Oh, okay. People are just saying hello. Ooh, their course in London was 6,000. Oh, child. Oh, that's quite pricey, but it's probably clinical. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See, here is totally different. Live, host venue. Yeah. In
We had
person.
it was very expensive to hire, like the venue because
Yeah.
it was live,
Yeah.
and the massage, like for example, which made up a quarter of the course.
Yeah.
We had to have like I had to employ three teachers, so
Yeah.
it was just to most of it was just to cover the expenses. Can I just ask you one or two questions?
Yes.
Okay. What's your son's name, by the way?
Jalen.
Jalen. Okay, thanks. And I don't know, maybe you reveal this in the book, but who was like your mentor who you originally communicated, who was in London, who had maybe a link with Marguerite Maury?
I'm gonna stop screen sharing for a second because that
Yeah.
annoying me. Um, I wondered if it was Trisha Davis, Patricia Davis.
Oh, but didn't
Uh,
you? But
I,
you
I
knew.
that's what I was trying to figure out if it was her because her name was Trisha,
Oh,
and
oh,
that
but
taught
so
me.
you. Oh, okay. But
Uh,
you don't know definitively who it was then, like her full name.
no,
Oh,
the
okay. Trish.
company that I worked for then is shut down.
Yeah, and okay. What was the name of that company you were working for?
Lakisma.
Latisma.
It was LIKISMA. The owner
Oh,
name was
ah,
Lisa.
I. That's funny. I recall that name.
What's her
Yeah,
name?
I
Lisa.
recall that name, Lakusma. Yeah,
Yeah, Lakisma.
Lakusma. Yeah. And you don't remember the name of that person?
Lisa.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I know that name. It's funny.
Lisa. I forgot. I have to look it up.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Thanks. It
But
might come back.
she it wasn't I can't well a friend that was a part of the company said it was maybe Lisa Carter. That's the only I mean Trisha Carter because that's the only one she remembered. But
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. But I
Okay.
did take a course with Elizabeth Ashley before
I
and
know. Oh, Elizabeth Ashley. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Right, yeah.
And her mother, Jill Bruce,
Yeah. Yeah.
was a direct student of Patricia Davis. So
Right.
I do have a little link,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
I
a
never
little
met
link.
I never met Jill Bruce, but I did meet, I did invite Patricia Davis once to speak for my organization in 1993
Right.
before she changed her name to she changed her
I
name as
saw
well.
that.
Yeah, just
I
was it
can't even pronounce it.
Shavar? I think it's Shavara. It's a Sanskrit name. I should be able to remember it, but and then she moved to it's a nice town near where my son grew up, Ashburton, down in Devon in England, it's quite, it's one of the few towns that maybe you would say in England that are a bit like New Age, a bit alternative, quite green as well, because it's in Devon.
Right.
And apart from Glastonbury, which is more like mystical, but she ended, I saw her. I saw her once scurrying along in the village. That was the last time I think I've seen her scurrying along in the village. And that was a long time ago. That was, oh my God, that was 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it was actually, God, I think it was, that long ago, maybe something
Yeah.
like that. It was in the 90s.
Yeah. Elizabeth
Uh,
says she's doing art. She's more of
oh,
an
yeah, yeah,
artist.
she did. Yeah,
She's
she got
not
into
doing
art and
aromatherapy.
astrology. But the closest link in London to Madame, to Marguerite Maury, of course, was Micheline Arcier,
Hmm.
Micheline Arcier. And I think she was, I don't know a lot about her life, really. Of course, she passed a long time ago. I can picture her in my mind, but I think she had a clinic that was like, actually, when you think of it, I think the early days of that British school of holistic massage based aromatherapy in London, thinking now is actually quite posh because it was like, in Mayfair, it was like you go, like Micheline Arcier would have had quite probably Princess Diana, people like that.
Right.
Princess Diana would go and have a treatment with Micheline Arcier. And I
Hmm.
remember meeting Olive when the school that my mentor and I started, well, Carlo De Paoli, we went for in 1998, we applied for IFA accreditation.
Hmm.
And it's one of those many long stories. I won't rehash the past, but Olive Beecham was the chair at that stage, and she worked in that very area, along, I know it was that, yeah, a specific area of London which was popular for those very high class treatments, which I think aromatherapy, at that stage was considered. And, now I find myself here in America where I think, venturing into the world of herbalism and, the last 3 years been studying a lot the chemistry, especially of, all the medicinal plants,
Hmm.
and but there's a stream here which is quite the opposite. It's really like, back to the earth as well. And actually one of my favorite, my I think the best book, I've got it over there, on African American herbalism, written by an anthropologist in Oakland, Michelle. I can always give the link, but I won't. I won't go and get it now. It's a blue. It's on. I think I ordered it from Amazon. It's on African American herbalism, going into great, not in a modern theoretical way, but a way that an anthropologist would, who interviewed a lot over decades. Uh, African Americans living in the South and treating themselves with, with natural aromatic and medicinal plant remedies, So it's a very, I was recommended the book by Caris Linthrop, who runs the very popular Botanic Wise series of webinars and is close to like Rosemary Gladstar,
Hmm.
people like that who are really keeping, I think, bringing plant medicine as a whole, to the wider public, And what
Hmm.
you're doing, I'm sorry, I'm going on a great length, but I've enjoyed this so much. And I think it's been,
Oh, really?
you've got so much to offer. And I think I really found it a good revision of the different standards between the organizations, which I think shown very fairly. It was very heartwarming to see the wonderful connections with really outstanding colleagues, at the conferences you've made. I think you are a pioneer, and a pioneer now in an area we need more than ever. We need more than ever to have this spirit of openness, inclusion, and because it fosters a beautiful environment of interchange. And
Hmm.
so blessings to you. Blessings. Thank you so much
Thank
for this.
you.
I've loved it, and I will encourage everyone to train with you because I think you're a brilliant teacher as well. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I have some people on here. I don't know Belinda Smith. I maybe one of the other ladies invited her, but Margie um
I'm
has
from
signed.
with Tina Goldestana,
Oh, okay,
APN.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, great. Nice to have you.
thank you.
And then Margie has signed up. Dawn has signed up. Dawn actually is going to be one of the alums. So she's going to go through it again. And I had a couple of more people that I wanted, but I brought that to your brought you guys' attention to let you know that Mr. Gabriel Moget is one of the more experienced aromatherapy pioneers in the industry. So it's almost like celebrity status here. So we have a celebrity from the aromatherapy world in our midst. And I see Melanie's hand up. What do you have to say, Mel?
Oh, let me lower my hand. Gabriel, that was very well said, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Thanks,
Yeah,
Melanie. No,
yeah.
but Melanie's famous too, actually. Everyone should know that. And
Of course.
Rani's getting very famous too.
Oh,
That's why I'm here.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'd
I
be
Making
here
do.
me
anyway.
blush.
That's you're too kind. I do have a question for you, Marnie. Not Marnie, Ronnie. In regards to you did show, which I thought was so great, how you showed NAHA and you showed AIA and you showed, and then you showed what you're offering. So the question is, you're doing a certified program, correct?
Hmm?
Okay. And if you were, has it been approved by NAHA and AIA?
I never listed. Do you know the process?
I do.
Okay.
I do. But I'm wondering
Uh-huh.
if you, yeah.
Let me explain what happened. When I first came out and I decided I wanted to do certification,
Mhm.
I went on and wrote my program based off of the NAHA standards. I contacted them to figure out what to do, additional information, answer my questions, zero, zero response. So I just said, well, let me see the AIA. So the AIA contacted me right back. I actually made the deposit and got the syllabus information, and it wasn't that difficult. It just would have took some time. And I would have had to just fill out the syllabus and everything and then pay the rest of the fees. Um, when I finally got someone got back to me from NAHA because someone had tagged them in a post, tagged the president at the time in a post when they had asked the same question that you asked. So when she contacted me and I got the information, they wanted me to Xerox all of my stuff and send it to them. I said, no way, no how. I do mine special. It's different from anybody else's. And I was not giving them my information like that. At least with the AIA, it was in syllabus form. And all it asked for was when you covered this, what chapter, what unit, this and that. I just decided I didn't want to have anything to do with any aromatherapy organizations
Okay,
at that
that's
point.
fair. Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
the cost at the time was really expensive. At Naha, you had to be a business member, which was $350.
Hmm.
Then you had to list it, it was like $400 or $500 a year. Then you had to have CE hours through NAHA approved courses, which were $300 to $500 a course. I'm like, if I do all that, then I
Hmm.
will have to charge $2,000
Right.
for my course.
Yeah.
My target market were stay-at-home. I had people that were stay-at-home moms
Hmm.
who did not have jobs. They had to get money from their husbands to take an aromatherapy class that their husbands didn't even understand why you want to take something like this. You see what I'm saying? One lady actually said, if you could break my payments up to like $30 a week, she says, I'm going to clip $30 worth of coupons from the grocery money out of what my husband gives me, and I'm going to use the $30 cash to pay you. There's some people who would never have an opportunity
Right.
to learn if somebody don't try to help.
Agreed. Agreed. And I first of all, I applaud you for that. I think that's amazing, right? So just real quick, so you are doing a certification, but it's not a certification through NAHA or AIA, it's your
No,
own certification.
it is. I I respect the organizations. I drew my program around their
Yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
curriculum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's your own
That
certification.
you're paying, people don't realize that most people don't realize that you don't even have to be at a
Right,
non-approved school or AIA recognized
right,
school in order to get certified in aromatherapy.
right, right.
The majority of people that came into the aromatherapy with me interviewing all of these people, most of them haven't even been to school. Some of them learned from a book
Right. So
because that's
quick,
all that was there.
yeah. So quick question.
Uh-huh.
You saw that level 1 is 50, level 2 is 200, level 3 is 400. How many hours is yours?
Mine's 200, I guess you would say 200 hours.
Okay.
CA. I don't do clinical.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Okay, so for whoever's going to watch this recording,
Mm-hmm.
the price is amazing for 200 hours.
Right.
I cannot say that enough.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And right, Gabriel?
Well, now the thing is that, well, I mean, I've been doing this kind of like talking about accreditation since 1990, and
Mhm.
and I fought over things like hours. But first of all, one has to ask though, because when people talk about hours, I mean, is this live delivery hours? Because that's
No,
that. No, okay. See,
it's going to
yeah,
be a combination.
yeah. So I
They
think,
will have to work on the
yeah. I think,
program every day, 2 to
uh,
3 hours a day.
how many I tend to do, well, the pricing I've done for what I'm planning myself, going beyond aromatherapy actually, and with a business partner, but nevertheless, I'm framing it between, well, the pricing, it depends on what it is exactly, because we're doing a live summer school, but then we're also doing 35 webinars. But I still apply a live hour formula to pricing largely between 15 up to, well, Lisa Ganora, like when I did her, herbal constituents online training last year, and that was 12 sessions. Well, there were two parts, but it ended up being 24 times 2 hours, although she always went over. So you actually got like 60 hours. But that worked out for about $2,500, I think, $2,000 or $2,500, about like 35, $40 an hour. Now that's the highest level one might go. But more or less, I'm trying to keep to around $20 an hour for a 200 or about a training. Well, yeah, it's about 200 hours, 4 or 5, coming up to something that is approaching for a 200-hour course that's about $3,500. So coming out to about 15, 18, $20 an hour. But that's live hours.
Yeah.
And that's either live hours in person, which we're having up in upstate New York, or Zoom hours, which are recorded. So I can't, that's how I tend to price things. But having said all that, I think your course does sound like great value.
Mhm.
That really does. And you're making great offers as well. So, and you're getting your very personal attention. You're
Right.
like, your course
See,
is like a mentoring course as well. And that's very valuable too. So anyway, yeah.
and really, this is similar to mentoring. You
Okay.
see, I
Yeah.
did not write. See, I didn't want to come in saying, I'm gonna rewrite everything. Everybody
Yeah.
keeps when they do their courses, they go, I'm gonna write this up. They have all these PDFs. They have all of this. I use books
Yeah.
and outlines. They're doing the work.
No, I agree.
They're
I found,
writing. They're taking notes.
yeah.
I'm teaching them how to use the books
Yeah. Yeah.
because if a lot of people they buy the expensive courses.
Yeah.
I literally was interviewed by someone, and when our videos, when she was, editing and uploading the videos, we was just chatting, and she saw my library behind me, and she
Yeah.
says, what books you got? She said, I want to buy
Yeah.
some books, but I don't know where to go. And I'm thinking, she's been an aromatherapist for 3 years and she don't know what books to buy. And then I started pulling books off the shelf and I said, look, I found this vintage Danielle Ryman book the other day. And I showed it to her. She's like, who's Danielle Ryman?
Oh yeah.
I almost fainted. I'm like, you went through a $2,000 aromatherapy program
Oh,
and you don't know who Danielle Ryman is?
I'm not sure how many
Seriously.
people. I mean, she's quite famous to me, and I venerate her book going back. But I don't know how many Americans might know. I don't know.
Either
Melanie,
way it
did
goes.
you know? You
That's
know
why I
who?
decided to write this book.
Yeah,
Because
Melanie, did you know Danielle Ryman? Have you know
No,
her?
not at all.
Oh, okay. I think it depends how much you are in the European scene, maybe.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You're quite
but
sophisticated,
it's
Ronnie.
a part
Yeah,
of the history
it
though.
is.
It's
Yeah,
part
no, it is. Oh, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
part of the history.
And she
And
was
so
connected to RCA too, I think, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Big outreach.
this is why I took this approach
Yeah.
because they get to, instead of wasting their money on me wasting my time rewriting the same program that
Yeah.
everybody else is writing,
Yeah.
I let them spend their money on the books, on the oils,
Yeah.
the things they need for the course, give
Yeah.
them worksheets that they can print out on their own ink. That's
Yeah.
not costing me anything.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
that's how I can get my costs down. I have a
Yeah.
special way that I teach it, and
I
it
think
works
you
because
know
it's
what,
been working for 17 years.
yeah.
Uh, 2 years ago, one of my students just became an acupuncturist
Wow.
after a trip from China. She got inspired to study traditional Chinese medicine, and she just became an acupuncturist. And she took my first class 17 years ago. So the
Wow.
people that I have that's out there,
Yeah.
they're working.
Yeah.
Try to teach, instead of giving you a fish, I try to teach you how to fish. So basically, what you're
Yeah.
doing with the 275, you're just paying for my time. You're printing out the
And your
sheets
knowledge.
on your dime. You're getting your supplies on your dime. You're getting the
Yeah.
books on your dime. You're just paying for my time. And I'm guiding you through the process. When you take the test, I grade the test. You turn in the work, I look over the work, give you credit for the work. And then once it's complete, you get your certificate.
That's wonderful.
So that's
Well,
the way I do it. I do it mine totally different from everybody
yeah,
else.
Yeah.
you do. And I think that's great, to be honest with you. And it's true what you said, that a lot of people don't know that they really, there's the certified thing,
It doesn't even
aroma,
mean anything.
right. Aromatherapy is not a regulated field.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
So, right. So, I kudos to you, and I'm excited for all your students, and you are wonderful, and I just absolutely adore you. And I think that they're very lucky to have a teacher like you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into the accreditation thing because it's such a big topic. I
Yeah.
mean, I started my own in 1990,
Yeah.
because
hmm
for different reasons. I mean, and okay, it actually became the kind of elite. I mean, we had the Tisserand Institute became part of it even in 1992, and we only had about 7 or 8 schools that we accredited, but 3 of them were like university courses. But I didn't really like being a big fish in a little bowl. So I amalgamated with the association that Shirley Price started in 1991, the year after I started mine, which was the RQA. And that's when we made the merger of IFPA. And actually, I didn't mean to go down memory lane because people know I do that. And that's what I was going to say. You and I are similar. We both have an interest in history
hmm
and people, biographies, and that's why I think you and I both also say books as well. That comes into it. This is my
hmm
favorite book on clinical herbalism. I put it on my Facebook. So I think you and I are similar in that way, and I think it does put a new student in the picture. You really empower them because I bet a lot of courses that people do, like locally, it might be okay, but they will never find out all these different branches of what
Right.
makes up the discipline that I
Mm,
think you have a deep interest in, and how it evolved and who was the first person to offer things online, and
right.
so I'm a bit similar in that way, and even to the extent I've got to curb myself a bit because I can hear people in their minds going, "Oh no, he's going to go down and rehash lots of history again," and that's my tendency. But I'm interested in it, and that's why I
Mhm.
enjoy. That's another reason I've enjoyed your class today. So anyway, thanks. But I was going to say though, I mean, yeah, accreditation. It's a very big topic. It does give confidence to prospective students, but you always have to weigh, as Melanie has, I think, hinted, that there are a balance of considerations between
Right.
costs and benefits as with
Right.
anything. And it's unregulated. Yes, that's right.
Right.
It's not like therapeutic massage where you,
Right.
etc.
And and
But
and with the cost, pardon me, I want to before I
yeah,
forget, Melanie, the cost also is not something I do every day.
no.
I do this like every 2 years or so with that cost factor. And
And
um and it's for a limited time and a
yeah,
limited amount of people.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want people
Yeah.
to
absolutely.
think I'm like out giving out, undercutting everybody and all this kind. I don't
Mhm.
even, most of my work has been done through consultations with private clients. And I basically taught this to help people in my community. Also, like I said, the stay-at-home mom,
Yeah.
people who can't afford those programs, or people who don't have the circumstances to to go somewhere and do a retreat, like that $6,000 program
Oh,
that,
oh.
that Gabriel was talking about, you know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can
Um,
I just say something
I was
about
going,
that, Gabriel?
can I just one thing I
Yeah.
wanted to say though, sorry, and then please ask me about, no, I know it that evolved over 35 years, and I guess we kind of catered for people who really wanted to do an in-depth course. And importantly, I think we did have a professional ongoing structure that people could join, and that's IFPA with the journal and those other benefits.
mhm,
Which I was going to say, I'm not trying to sell IFPA membership accreditation, school accreditation. And I'm not even sure. I mean, you mentioned some. I know that if you look at the possibly accrediting a course with NAHA, I mean, it does ring a bell that costs can add up, and maybe that's
right.
similar with. I mean, is that similar with our AIA? Is it?
Oh
I know.
yes, I think
Yeah.
AIA
Okay.
is even more expensive. I think Naha, I
Oh.
looked at the site, it went down this year
Okay.
since the net
Well,
baby went in, but
if
AIA is kind of pricey.
okay, well, IFPA is. I'm not doing a sales here thing for IFPA. I'm not actually. But well, I did. I'm one of the two co-founders. But anyway, apart from that, but I would say though, yeah, it's quite straightforward. You have to join. Okay. Now, I think that's still pretty reasonable. God, we haven't put up. They didn't put. Haven't. I'm not on the board at the moment, but you haven't put up the prices for ages. I mean, for since we almost founded it. So it's only $100 a year. So you have to be a member yourself, but I can't think why they wouldn't accredit your course, and that's another. It's only yearly, and I think maybe it's something like 250 a year or something.
Yeah,
So
I think
350 a year.
Naha dropped theirs to 250 a year.
Okay. So Naha is
Yeah.
similar. But do you have to pay any extra with Naha for each course or anything, or is it just that's the straight cost?
I
I don't-
didn't look, I
Okay.
didn't have time to read the details because I
Okay.
wanted to kind of look at it,
Yeah.
make,
Yeah. Yeah.
when for preparation for this presentation to
Yeah.
remind
Yeah.
myself of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
I
Melanie, what were you going to
personally,
ask me, Melanie, though? I didn't mean to be rude, and then I'll go
What
away.
oh
actually,
yeah,
what I
You're
was
going to
gonna,
ask me.
what I was gonna
Yeah.
say is that Ronnie
Yeah.
makes it affordable for everybody.
Yeah.
And Gabriel, you are now in herbalism, and you notice that
Yeah.
herbalism is a different world. I'm an herbalist also.
Yeah.
And herbalism is a different world. I mean,
It is a different
whenever
one.
there is a conference, you could actually work to get your ticket. If you don't have the money, you could,
Yeah.
there's so
Yeah.
many different ways, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. It's
They
much
want to,
bigger as well. It's a lot bigger, I think.
it's a lot bigger, but they
Yeah.
literally do open it up to everybody, and they don't close the
Yeah.
door to anybody.
Right.
And they are on an honor
Yeah.
system. You pay what you can. If
Mm-hmm.
you can't pay, you can work the booth or whatever. And I
Yeah.
like that you are giving these options. Number one, you're making it affordable, but you're also giving the options of paying a low price to be able to do this. You're opening the door to people. And I just want to say kudos. So that's it. Thank
Thank
you so much.
thank you. I see Dawn made a comment. She was in my course 2 years ago, and she says, I gained so much knowledge from Ronnie. Thank you, Dawn. And Gabriel did post the book that he was talking about. It's Working the Roots, Over 400 Years of Traditional African American Healing by Michelle E. Lee. All right. Anybody else have any? Now, the ones that are here, like um Belinda, Sean, Don, Margie, I Bruce. Does anyone have any questions about this program? Or for me, the floor is open.
Hi, Veronica. This is Margie.
Hey,
I
Margie.
am so excited for you because everything you said is so true. Okay, I'm going to tell you my age. I am 63 years old and I have always loved health and wellness. So let me just define my health and wellness. If I can keep myself well without going to the doctor, to find me some natural essential oils or learn how to do the herbs, whatever, to learn how to take care of myself, that's what I love. A lot of times, I don't know how you are on point like this. I could not afford to spend those $7,000 for a course. I got so discouraged. I'm like, what can I do? And I didn't even know all of this about you. You are so smart. You are so intelligent. You smile every time you talk or laugh. I love that. And I'm really looking forward to learn as much as I can in the course. But one thing I want to find out is, okay, I went and purchased hold on, Valerie Ann Woodwood book.
Mm-hmm.
That's one book I have. And then the other one by, I can't even pronounce her name, Neri Puchan and Nora Cantilli.
Mm-hmm.
I have those two. So I know you said there's going to be more books that we need to purchase.
Okay.
I don't want to be in the class and not have our books because I'll probably have a panic attack because this is serious. I'm like, this is really serious. I don't even know if that's
Let me turn around on my shelf. Look in,
okay.
and I'm gonna pull a few books here,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why I chose these. Where is this one? Now, one is gonna be highly vintage,
Okay.
and it's gonna be I love it, and everybody in the class, every time I ask them, should I keep it in the recommended on the recommended list, and they all say yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, um, Encyclopedia of Aromatherapy. Let me see
Can
if
you hold it up so I can take
yes, I am. I'm going to
okay.
pin myself, see if I can um where am I? Oh, I need to do the view.
Okay.
My oh, that's you. How do I do that? I guess because you're multi-speaker. Maybe if I do it like that. Okay, I'm getting used to this new Zoom. Every time you open Zoom these days, I don't know. Well, let me just go back to the gallery.
And
Every
can
time
you
you
just
open
hold the book
Zoom,
up? Can you just hold the book up?
there's an update. And when it updates, Zoom messes up. So let me hold, well, because of my background, my bookshelf is a mess.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
The chat group. So those of you who have already signed up, you already been added to the chat group. So I'll put a picture of it. But the name of it is The Encyclopedia of Aromatherapy by Chrissy Wildwood. That book probably is going to be hard to find because it is vintage and you're probably going to have to buy it used. You may can go on eBay and do a quick search and um but it is vintage, okay? And so I know some people say, oh, well, she's using books from the early 2000s, it's dated. I know how to tell you the updates. I update my program every single time I teach it. So don't even worry about that. The only reason why I use this as sort of like a guide is because I teach holistic aromatherapy because I do have herbal training and I do have anatomy and physiology training, and I'm also a natural health consultant. I know how to teach the body systems. This is the only book that was easy to find at the time that covers all of the body systems with aromatherapy. Now, there's some other books that do cover them, but they're hard to find. Um, there's not very many that just breaks down, just takes the nervous system, the muscle skeletal system, digestive, and just break it down like that. This is a good guide to go by. So it is vintage. So I put that out there, but it helps with building your 200 hours because it has a lot of reading material. So you will, on the worksheets, I do have the page numbers of a particular edition of the book, but I know there's some other editions. I don't know how the page numbers will match up. You would just have to kind of figure it out. But that's a part of the reading process because you're going to be given assignments for the entire week. You're going to be given field trips. Um, You're going to have to do case studies, which I'm going to teach you how to do that. Um, so there's different things that you're going to be working on all throughout the week. We just have the classroom time for 2 hours. And besides that, um, the 8 weeks is really going to turn into probably 10 weeks.
Mhm.
The reason why is because I've added business to the course. When I first started teaching, people were already had some type of modality, like they were already a massage therapist or they were already a Reiki healer or herbalist or some, form of natural health practitioner. So they just wanted aromatherapy added to what they were already doing. So they were already established in business. Um, the people that are coming into uh, the industry today, mainly because of the MLM companies, they don't have an established modality to practice their certification. And a lot of people have gone through these expensive courses and don't know what to do with their certificate because they weren't taught business. And so that's why the program is probably going to be extended because it was kind of tough teaching all of that plus doing the business part um, in 8 weeks. The 8 weeks also includes 2 free weeks. So it's really pushing it into 10. So there'll be 2 weeks at least where there will be no class that weekend. And that's going to give you an extra week to keep working on your assignments. So being that I've added the business portion, then that's going to extend the course out to maybe 12 weeks. You have already been working 2 weeks on the course because you're already in the Facebook group doing those other classes. So that's how your 200 hours start to add up. Because by the time you get to class, you're already ahead of the game. Because there's at least 3 or 4 classes in that group right there that you're watching videos of that is a part of the curriculum. And so this book, and also a Julia Lawless book. This one is the 2013 version. I do not want to show let me see if it'll work. Yeah, well, I'll post the pictures of it. And then this is the vintage one. I personally like the vintage one, but it doesn't matter. But there's a 2013 version of it, and then there's a vintage one. These two are great books to look up the botany, the body systems, the different oils that affects the body system. Um, they're just excellent books. She has good books on the ancient history, good information on ancient history. Uh, yeah, I love both of those, mainly for the research part. Now, the reason why I chose the Laura Cantelli book, there aren't very many books out there that actually break down the actual medical conditions. Some of the medical conditions, for level 2, I think you have to cover at least 5. I had to go back and remind myself, but I think you have to cover at least 5. I usually have 5 to 7 different medical conditions covered under each body system. And so this book covers various medical conditions and the aromatherapy protocol for it. And so whenever you have clients in the future, you'll have a reference to look up different conditions and the oils that coincide with it. The other book, Valerie Werwood book, The Pocket Guide.
Yes.
That book has a lot of great information. Everybody says definitely keep that one in it because they loved the different tricks that we're going to use with that one. It has great profiles in it. That's how I'm going to teach you how to read profiles and monographs. They're very detailed, even though it's a pocket guide and looks like a little book, but it's packed with some great info. Also, it breaks down the oils according to something that's, like targeted, it's specific. Like for instance, for respiratory conditions, it breaks down the differences between the whooping cough or bronchitis, just the different forms of respiratory and which oils work the best. Personally, this is the only book that I've seen that actually break conditions down in minute details like that.
Okay.
So when you sign up with the course, you're going to be added to the chat, and I will put pictures of those 4 books in the chat. Those are the ones that I personally feel are the best ones to start with when you're a beginner. And in this course, you're going to learn how to look things up for yourself and utilize your resources.
Okay.
And in the words of Robert Tisserand, he says, you may not know everything. All you need to know is where to find the answer. You can't find the answer if you don't have books. Some of the programs, everything is online. So when people have questions, they have to go back Oh, I gotta go back to the database. Go in the database and they try to find it, look it up. Here, you pull a book off the shelf, you look it up, your job is done. So, okay, great, Gabe. You have to go.
Thank you for explaining all that, Ronnie.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you coming. Of course, I'm gonna throw Gabe. I always show your book when I do the class, and that's one of the things that I do that a lot of people don't do is because I never was a competitor when I came into this.
Yeah.
I was a collaborator, and that's the way we're taught in the coaching world. You collaborate with each other instead of compete. And so I tell people about these other courses. And I tell people, like Tori from the last course, she took the Tisseran's safety course last year. And so um I tell them I don't hog y'all.
You don't what, sorry?
I don't hog you. That's what they say in the South. I'm not gonna
Oh,
hog you and just keep you to myself. I would love to, but I'll let you go and be with somebody else.
I
So,
remember.
especially when a person has a certain niche they want to go into, I recommend teachers that cover their niche, and
Yeah.
they'll have all of that before the end.
Ronnie, Robert Tisserand's safety course is a must.
Oh yeah, I took it. It's
It's a
it's
must. Yes.
it's and it's very affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tisserand's most of his courses are not over
Yeah.
500.
And they're wonderful courses.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you something really quite true, right? But back going when there was the Tisserand Institute, which was only in the 90s until Robert moved to California in 2000, you know. Um, but after that, Neil's Yard Remedies under Victoria Plum, who was a teacher for Robert, she ran a course similar, very similar to Robert's course in London. But during those years, we were both really quite busy anyway, you know, but we were like the two top schools, to be honest. I mean, in paraphrasing, there are, okay. But we, you know what? Sometimes, and this happened both ways, if I had someone who I thought was more suited to Robert's course, I would suggest they check his out.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, if they got someone who is a bit more interested in a Chinese medicine approach, which I taught, they would recommend my course. And that was when
Mm-hmm.
we came to the interviews even,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so collaboration, I think, you know, that just, I've just recalled that, you know.
Yeah.
So it is a good thing, you know. I think when yeah. So thank you, and I think that was a great quote from Robert too. Like you have to empower, which you're doing with your students. I'd recommend your course because, you know, you're like you said, you're empowering them by not just teaching them little things they can remember in their mind, but where they can expand their knowledge through going to the right sources.
Mm-hmm.
So cheers. Anyway.
Well, I thank you for coming. I know you said you had to go.
I do have to go. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Ronnie. Good
Okay.
seeing you,
Yeah,
Gabriel.
I'm
Everyone
going
have a
too.
great
So
time with
yeah.
her. She's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll see
I'm
you
just gonna.
soon.
Okay.
Hi,
Bye-bye.
Melanie. Lovely
All
to
right.
see
Bye
you.
bye.
Take
Great to see
care.
you.
You too.
I'll go now because I've got to go to the my local store, and you know I know you're talking about some of the details of the course. So thank you, Ron.
Okay. All righty.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Miss Ronnie, can I ask you one more question?
Uh-huh.
What book are you going to start out with since you have several books that we need to have?
We use
Because
all.
I'm sorry.
We use them all. The first week though, um, you will get worksheets. I mean, you're gonna get worksheets the whole thing. And I also have some ebooks that will also be included in the welcome email that could be utilized also. I had one person, you know, she kind of utilized the ebooks from, throughout most of the course.
Yeah.
I just try to give people the tools that they need, that I know you're gonna need if you really want to do practitioner work or to look things up. I try to give you the tools from the start. And so the main thing that usually I would say the Encyclopedia of Aromatherapy would be first, and the Pocket Guide would be second. The Valerie Werwood book and this one, those two first and second. Um, Julia Lawless, that can come along. That could be something that you could pick up at a later date. And even the other one, the Laura Cantelli book, um, is based because some of the information in the Encyclopedia of Aromatherapy, the reason why I do that is because in the past I was criticized for using old vintage books.
Okay.
But of course I'm under a lot more scrutiny than the average person. So, you know, you know what I mean?
Yes, I
So,
understand.
so
Absolutely.
I said, you know what, I'm gonna include the even more updated books. And then also there's some people that already have a book collection. So in the opening um welcome the registration form, I have a spot in there where you can list some of the books that you already have. And then I'm pretty much familiar with just about all of them. And I would know if, they would be a good reference or a good source, because I know some people that write them may
Oh,
come from misinformation land and they may not measure up. But yeah, it's an opportunity that people, whatever budget you have, it will fit into whatever budget.
yes. You know the reason, excuse me, reason why I've taken this class because um I have joined Gold Asana and HBN. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going to be meeting a lot of people used to these oils, and you
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure you're using them properly. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you need to know how to use them properly because I think one person I know, I didn't explain to her properly about the lavender just the other day. I do home care because I've taken care of my mom for years, but I've been in many industries. But
Mm-hmm.
to get back to my client, I was introducing her to the oils, and I think it was the lavender chamomile. She taken that internally. I was like, you wasn't supposed to do that. She said, I only use one drop. I was like, oh my God. So, I mean, I thought she was like going to use it, like breathe it in, or maybe use it on the bottom of her feet or something like that, or use something in the bathtub.
Mm.
When she told me that, I was like, oh my goodness. But she said
Yeah,
she
I
was
know.
okay. She said she felt a little strange, and she said she only used a drop in her
Oh
tea.
yeah.
But still, that's a lot of drop, you
Yeah.
know. But she was okay. She's like about like 83. She's
Oh
a
yeah.
tall,
And then
she really
elderly,
sweet.
that's another issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But she likes the wellness products as well because she was very excited about purchasing some. So the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I have like a person I know I was telling you about that has fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that person needs to speak with you on that. And some of the oils the person had tried, they really helped them a lot. I was like, oh, these products really helped me so much. I gotta try them again. You know, even with the HBN, the drink she taken in the I can't think of the name of it, Mind, Body, and Soul. Those helped her with the inflammation as
Mm-hmm.
well, in addition to the essential oil. So that's my thing. I want to make sure that I am using these oils properly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
what I want to do. And that's
yeah.
my reason. Firstly, even though I have a cosmetology, I have so many different licenses. I have a barber license, college, all that stuff. I have all those licenses. I mean, degrees and license, but I really love the health and wellness industry, especially now. It's so important that you know how to take care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to say this online, but sometimes they will abandon you. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
some person that
That
talk
was
like,
that was the conclusion of my presentation. I had no idea Gabriel Moshe was going to show up at my presentation,
wow,
but he
oh
has.
my goodness.
I mean, that was like, whoa, y'all is celebrity status. That's why I had text y'all. I'm like, y'all better jump on here. And then Melanie, I
I
met
know
her at the conference, and I'm not 100% clear on her business side, because I,
Mhm.
you know, I haven't explored that, but we she's just a good supporter. I support her. We just kind of like support each other, through different difficult moments in
Yes,
the aromatherapy world. But yeah, that was my main. This is why I'm doing a special call out to teachers that want to teach
yes,
people in our community,
definitely.
because when you're in this network, you're going to get all types of information that the outside world is not going to get. When
Mhm.
COVID hit, all of these herbalists like Gabriel, see, these are like $1 million earner people.
Oh,
Like Gabriel, and you heard he set up a school in London and this and it. These
mm,
people made big money over the years. They have tons of experience. Different people like that, they teamed up, different schools teamed up. They got this like protocol together. And it was like, if you catch this, use these oils, this herbs, this, and that. It was like a whole memo. And it was shared all throughout the
mm,
health and wellness, our group or community.
yes.
There's a lot of people, like they were talking about me being generous. They don't even realize how generous Jade Shoots is with her courses, and how she has opened up the market for um places like the Philippines and other countries, and she licensed her information out to these people, knowing that they don't have the money that people here in the United States have. And so there's a lot of generous people like that. And when they started, she came up with the memo. A lot of people just start spreading stuff. That stuff kept a lot of people alive
Yes.
during COVID. And at the rate we're going, if we had another pandemic to hit tomorrow, we would all be in trouble,
Really.
because we would not have any correct information to go to, a source or anything,
Mm,
with the leadership we got going on now.
right.
And so having that's why I teach this the way that I teach it, so that you will have the tools and the skills needed to keep you and yourselves and your families
Safe.
alive.
Yeah.
Look at all these people is about to lose, that are losing their jobs. When they
Yeah.
lose their jobs, they're losing their insurance.
Yeah. I know a person right now that she was working for Boeing, young lady just lost her job.
Mm-hmm.
Just lost, I mean, went to school, had a top level degree, and she just lost her job at Boeing. She had to move back in with her family.
Mm-hmm.
So it
So
it
yeah, it's
is.
gonna be tough times ahead, and that's why, I
Mm,
see a lot of herbalists, in the herbal community is more accepting of people of color.
okay.
The aromatherapy community is not. You don't see too
Really?
many. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. I know it's trying to hard for me to break in, and I didn't understand why. So I really
Yeah,
understood where you were coming from because I
yeah,
tried this years ago. Because I said, well, since I'm not a doctor, I can learn how to use these herbs and learn how to use the essential
mhm,
oils to help me become a better person, feel better internally and externally. So
right.
it's interesting. I'm
Yeah,
just so glad that I met you because I didn't even know anything about you. The only time I met you is when you came on board with Tina to do some classes on Detox Diva. I never knew you had all this information, but in the back of my head, you said something about a class or something. I don't know if you said it on there
yeah.
or
I tried to I
yeah.
tried to team up with Go to Sana to teach a level 1 training.
Mhm.
And the level 1 training included safety.
Yeah.
But they're not really interested in that. I kind of picked up on that, and we're not surprised about that as aromatherapists because if we teach people how to use the oils properly, it cuts into their profit because
Mm,
you're not going to waste the oils. You're not going to use them like they are recommending you use them so that you use them up and keep buying them,
gotcha.
over and over and over, you know. Um,
Wow.
Yeah, that's just the nature of that business. And that's why a lot of aromatherapists don't really respect those
Yeah.
companies.
But you always can use a carrier oil, so that will stretch it out. If you
Right.
protect
And
those
that's the
oils,
one thing,
put them
that's
in
the
a
only
cool
reason why
space.
I've only put my stamp of approval on Godasana because of the
Mhm.
fact that the company itself, it presents it the way it's supposed to be presented
Yeah.
with the use of carriers, doing the proper dilution rates and all of that. But when you got some of those $1 million earners in those companies, they don't care what the product is. They just want the money. That
Mm,
they're there for the opportunity and not necessarily for the using the products properly,
yeah.
then that's where the problem comes in
Yeah.
because they're going to push the reps to do certain things that you probably shouldn't do with the oils in order to drive up their paycheck.
The profit.
And so, and a lot of times the owners may not even, they may look the other way, because it's making
Yeah.
them money or whatever.
Yeah. But you know what? I had was learning how to formulate a while back, and that's when I found out about essential oils as well. And one thing that's real serious is those citrus oils.
Yes, yes,
Going out in that sun, you can just put them on your skin, you can really get it. You got to be careful.
right,
So
right,
I know you need to learn about these oils. It's no joke,
yes.
no joke. But yeah, I want to say I appreciate you, and
Yeah.
I'm planning on as learning as much as I can. But I do have a concern now. You said we might have to go out and do a project because I do work, and how will we
Oh,
do
no.
that? We got to go out and do a project, so I got to figure out how we
Well,
can.
no. I do simple things like, you going out into nature and, picking up pine cones and smelling them.
Okay, okay,
So you
okay,
connect with the plant.
okay. I got you.
And when you connect with the plant, then you can have respect for the oil.
Okay,
Or if you don't have, like you probably already have a collection being that you're with Go to Sauna, but some people that's coming in may not have but maybe 2 or 3 different oils. And sometimes it could be you taking a field trip to the health food store.
okay,
And you go there and you sniff different oils that you haven't smelled before.
okay,
And you pick out the ones that you might want to try or something like that. It's something simple. uh most like you kind of like ahead of the game a little bit because I know you probably have a collection.
I have a whole bunch of oil. About
Yeah,
to give them away. I don't
yeah,
want to buy a lot of them. I just want to buy what I need, but I don't
right,
want oils. And those oils last a long time. Even the
yeah.
citrus are the ones that really spoil, right?
Well, it just depends. If you store them well, they can last up to a year.
Okay.
in most cases.
And you have to keep up with the date because when they ship it out, I can't even see the date on the product. So that's what I got to be
Yeah,
aware
I don't
of.
micromanage my stuff like that. You'll
Okay.
drive yourself crazy if you did that. If you keep them in a cool, dark place, I kind of keep mine sometimes like in a plastic case and I have them in my closet.
Okay. Okay.
I like one of those little things on the wall. Um, but I only put oils up there that I use all the time, every day almost kind of. Or if I'm going to work on a project, I'll pull some oils from my cases and put them on there so I'll have them ready when I get ready to do the blending or
Okay.
something. But yeah, we'll learn. People, always share tips with each other in class and
Okay.
on how they store their oils or what have you. But yeah, we're finding out a lot of things about oils these days that um we didn't know about years
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah.
How some oils can actually, how long they can actually last. But yeah, the citrus ones are the ones that you have to be careful with. But um, for the most part, if they're stored well, they'll last a a, a decent year or so.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Okay. Belinda, do you have any questions?
Hello.
Oh, hey, Don.
I have to
I
go
love
pick
your
up my
coat.
husband right now, so I'm sorry I have to run off, but Xavier wants to actually say hi.
Oh, hey, you gotten big. I love your hair.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy right now. Mom, you don't have to pick up Dad. Dad just got his ride. Oh, okay. Well, tell him to shut the car off. Car off? My mom was going to pick you up. Oh, well, my husband got a ride home from work, so I don't have to leave.
Oh, okay.
But Xavier was very excited to that I was doing my classes again, and he had wanted to say hi. And
Oh, yeah.
but I enjoyed it so much the last time. I used most of my books from last time quite a bit.
Oh, good. Yeah. They do come in handy. I learned that from my teacher named Geraldine. Well, my first teacher recommended books. She recommended the first two that I got. And then when I did a live workshop with Geraldine, she recommended she had laid a lot of her books out on a table and told us to take pictures or write down the titles of the ones that we wanted. Oh, balloon
Nice.
left. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I kind of got into, figuring out. I was ahead of the game because I had teachers that recommended reading material. It just shocks me when I meet people who haven't had any reading material recommended to them.
Right. I really
It
have enjoyed
shocks me
it.
to death. And I'm like, wow, y'all that competitive where you don't want to help another author out? I mean,
Right, right. And everyone has such valuable information, especially
yeah,
different perspectives from,
exactly.
so it's really interesting to gain that knowledge and see what different perspectives are. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to taking this course again.
Oh, great. Great. And Sean, I had invited you because I knew that the last course that you took, you didn't complete. And so I was going to message you about an opportunity I was going to offer you so that you can go ahead and get your certification.
And that's actually what I was sitting here discussing with my husband, Ronnie. Like, this is an amazing opportunity. And I'm like, where was Ronnie? That, you
Back
know,
when, huh? Like I said, I only offered this every Well, at first it was every year for about 15 years. And then when the pandemic hit, then it was like, okay, like every 2 years I started doing it, you know. And I only, and plus I didn't, because it's so cheap. You see how Melanie questioned it, because she's like, if I go and tell people this, they're gonna like, you know, because I know the aromatherapy world is gonna come down on me on that. But like I said, I do mine totally different than
Right.
what they do. And so they put a lot more work and you know, hands-on grinding into it. Plus it was, you know, elevated because of the NAHA and AIA
Yeah.
requirements, you know. So all of them, like if you list, like if I was to list my course with NAHA or AIA, I would not be able to charge this because they don't charge this.
Mm.
And then they're gonna really come down on me like, hey, you know, you're not charging $1,000 like we are.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I was like, I don't want to list with them. I don't like all that office politics stuff. I don't want anybody telling me what to do in my class, my course. This is my business. And I want to run my business how I want to run my business. Um, yeah, like I said, you know, I always operated on the radar because people would criticize and say stuff, and I would work by referral or
Mm.
word of mouth. I did that for 15 years after I was trolled online regarding my tactics, so to speak. So I just operated on the radar and taught a few people here and there, anywhere from 5 to up to 20 people in a class in the last 17 years. So there's some people say, well, I taught 15,000 people. Well, you mean you sold 15,000 courses. It
Right.
doesn't mean that they finished them. You wouldn't believe the people that have not finished.
Oh,
They
just from
just give
my
up.
experience, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they waste all that money.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and I came in with a purpose, with a goal, because I had experience in another area. I brought that experience to this, and I taught it the way that I wanted to teach it.
Right. Yeah, and I get that.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hate for you. I hate that you didn't get to finish. We felt bad one time. It was some people took a course out of Canada, and before they could finish, the lady passed away.
Oh wow.
And so these people were left. I mean, and Canada courses are expensive because their minimum required hours are 400 just for the CA, certified aromatherapist. That's not even clinical. Think clinical, like maybe 1,000 hours. But yeah, a lot of them took it and paid all this money out, and then they couldn't complete it. So
Right.
some of the other aromatherapists kind of came to the rescue. Different ones offered different things at a discounted rate or whatever so that they could complete it. But I still think some of them should have did a little bit better on the discount, you know. I think they still kind of took advantage of people. But yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people, they look at it like, ooh, that's, and then they'll say, well, is it legit? But see, I did all the work um as far as my training.
Oh
And
yeah. I know that.
and besides, I don't teach just aromatherapy certifications. I teach this certification to this crowd of people that's interested in this program, you know. Um but I've taught other things. Like I'm gonna do the Afro Aromatherapy program. I'm a natural health consultant, so I teach fibromyalgia programs. You see, so um, just because I discounted this one once a year for the last 2 years, since 2 years ago, and with a limited number of spots, that's not going to make or break the aromatherapy industry.
Right.
I'm just taking. It's just taking time away from my schedule, and I calculated how much it costs me when I'm making an hour teaching the class on a Sunday afternoon for 2 hours for 8 to 10 weeks. So, but I always have a minimum number of people to come in so that it will make it worth my while. So that's why I put a cap on it.
Okay.
Yeah. But
All right.
yeah, I definitely would like for you to be able to complete that because you have a very soothing voice to me when I saw a lecture I think you did with the other girl with the wear the turban. Um I forgot her name. She went through I think that little course we was in.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's that girl name?
Damn it.
But she also yeah, I saw you on that one time and I said, yeah, she'll be a good teacher too. Yeah. And see, most people don't teach just certification courses. Like I'm gonna be doing a class with Robin in on the 5th of in May, on I think the 15th of May. So I do plan on collaborating with different aromatherapists, and then we're gonna be charging to do classes,
Oh,
do the class. And it may be like a $50 class, and then she and I split it, depending on how many people sign up, that kind of thing. And
okay.
so, a lot of people are starting to do that now. So I do more than that type of teaching.
Right. Right. Okay.
So yeah. But I
Okay.
know, I didn't expect those real aromatherapists to get on this call. I was like, hey, before you showed up.
Right.
Mm.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
glad my voice held up.
Yeah. I was wondering about you. I was like, she's
Yeah,
doing a lot of talking here.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording.